Hello and welcome to Trashy Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I am your host.
And my name is Cassandra, and welcome to a very special Trashy, very smooth, buttery morning show.
A little peep behind the podcast, but we are recording this at 8 a.m.
Yeah, and you can hear it. We're a little loopy. We've been giggling. So, it's good shit. How's your week, Erica?
You know, it was okay. I flew on an airplane for the first time in a very long time and had to deal with people in airports. Which I'm gonna throw it away later. So I'm gonna save a little bit of my airport drama.
You got it.
But people are animals.
Yeah.
And animals are the best of us, but they are not the good kind of animals.
Oh. Yeah. What's the bad kind of animal?
I don't know, like a python that's eating you.
All right. Well, you heard it there, folks. That's trashypodcast@gmail.com.
Come for me.
Shit on like pythons. I'm trying to think if there's like an animal that I just do not care for. I think like maybe like a goose because they're like dicks. You know? Like historically, like geese, not nice.
Not nice. Okay. I did get bit by a goose one time, so when I was little, so I'll stand behind you on that. I will back you up on that.
When I was in Joshua Tree like a couple weeks ago, there was baby goats, and so I was like, I gotta hold a baby goat, and I did, and it was incredible. There's a picture of it on my Instagram. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, I remember going to petting zoos as a child, and the goats would always eat like my clothes. But I was looking, and I was like, there's no goats eating clothes. So like, did I have delicious like grassy clothes, or were the 90s goats different than these goats?
I feel like the yoga goats and the wine drinking goats and the Joshua Tree goats, like the goats that they're socializing now for like goat yoga and popular goat aesthetic things, I feel like they're different.
Yeah, I was getting like milk goats and like just like barnyard goats who have not been socialized. And then here's a 6-year-old with a dress on.
Exactly. That was like prime eaten for a goat back in the 90s.
That checks out. Let us know if goats ever chewed on your clothing and it scared the shit out of you and you screamed. And also let us know if you had a petting zoo in your mall, because that's where I'm pretty sure my petting zoo was.
I one time for a live show rented a goat for an hour and a half.
Oh.
It cost me a pretty penny, but the goat, I did like a cooking segment, like a satanic cooking segment where it was like, oh, we're going to sacrifice this goat.
Hilarious.
But we did it like an upbeat. It was adorable. And the goat headbutted me in the tit really hard live on stage. And you know what? Like the professional I am, I just had to keep on going.
Wow. Did people notice that it did?
Oh, yeah. When a goat rams you, even though their little horns were taped up, like when a goat rams you in the tit, like you definitely make an exasperated gasp and they notice.
Holy shit. That's funny. Why are you trash this week?
Well, like I said, I recently flew in an airport. I went and visited my home in Oklahoma, visited some family, and the airport in Dallas has a candy bar, one of those where you pull on a lever and it feeds you candy, and it's done by weight.
Uh-huh.
And I accidentally purchased $40 worth of candy.
What?
I had
accident?
I had my little baggie and I put it underneath the runts and all bananas, you know?
Okay.
I'm an all banana girl.
I'm just gonna go over it. I'm not gonna take the bait, Erica. My mind is clear. It is early. I am not going to take that bait. Carry on.
And one-handed, I it filled up so fast that my second hand went to the bag to support it, and so I didn't have the hand to stop pulling the lever, and it just filled me up, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so much fucking candy." And then I went to the weigh station and then, was making eye contact with the cashier, and then all of a sudden she was like, "That'll be 39.40 whatever." And I was like, "Oh shit, I just bought $40 worth of candy," and then had to carry around $40 worth of candy through the airport.
Oh,
Like, I
man.
wasn't insane.
I would have just started telling people like, I'm going on an international flight. You like your next leg of your flight is like 30 minutes.
Yeah. I was mortified. And I was like, "Damn you candy machines."
Damn, we getting the coughs and the throat clears. You and I.
Yep. It's early. How are you trash this week?
So, if you recall from last week, I said that when I went to San Francisco, I grown up pooped my pants. I'd like to update that this time I did not grown up poop my pants, but I did put myself in a position to, this is really gross. So we had oysters on our last, like right before we went to the airport. We're like, let's go to this place that has oysters and look at the fucking water or the bridges or who gives a shit. I shouldn't say that about San Francisco, but who gives a shit, And we have oysters, and we were looking up online, like, what's the best thing to drink with oyster? Because I was like, I'm going to have a white wine. And then he had like an oyster stout or whatever. And turns out that online, it was like, if you drink too much when you eat oysters, they pickle in your stomach. And then they're the most common. Yeah. So it's the most commonly mistaken food to like give food poisoning, when it's like, it's not food poisoning. You've poisoned yourself because you're a fucking alcoholic. And so I was like, pshaw. How could I possibly drink that much? Well, oh, I lied because this wasn't our last stop. Or was it? I don't know. Whatever. So I had a glass of wine, and then I'm pretty sure we went to 2 more bars before finally going to the airport. And so, like, I showed up to the airport kind of litty titties. And then when we were waiting for our flight, we got more alcohol. And so naturally, by the time I got home, I was like, hey, I don't feel great. And so it wasn't real food poisoning like the last time, but I gave myself food poisoning. I didn't believe the internet for once. And spent the entire night in the fetal position, clutching my stomach and having to get up to, use the restroom, knowing that myself and my partner both had to work the next day. So I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know what sometimes gives me food poisoning?
What?
When I eat at McDonald's.
Oh yeah, that checks out. What do you order?
I order a sausage biscuit with grape jelly because I am trash.
I remember this. You talked about this last week. All right, let's just get into our first story from Fox News.
McDonald's robber demands chicken nuggets, has to accept breakfast food because it is still too early.
Apparently, the suspect had to accept the McMuffin instead.
A man has been jailed for robbing a McDonald's in England and making off with not only some cash, but also food. Unfortunately for him, not only did he get caught, but he also wasn't able to get the meal he was hoping for at the time of the robbery.
He had a gun, or he claimed to have a gun, and he wanted the money from the register, and then he also forced a manager to give him access to the safe. On the way out, he demanded some chicken nuggets, and they were like, no, sorry, it's breakfast.
It's breakfast.
Like, what? I kind of love it. Like that they're like, you can have all the money here, but there is no fucking way we are going to make you chicken nuggets right now.
We would have to turn on a separate fryer, and you know that the fry guy doesn't come until 11.
And you think that I'm going to turn on my morals? Because it's a slippery slope, sir. If I say yes to you, then suddenly everybody's going to be like, oh, you gave him chicken nuggets. So I don't care. You press that gun against my fucking temple. I will not give you chicken nuggets. I imagine that's exactly how it went down.
I mean, it's as if I watched it on television.
Yeah. So he got like $600 from the restaurant, and it was discovered that instead of an actual gun, he was threatening victims with an unloaded .177 air pistol, whatever that is.
It's just an air pistol.
Just an air pistol.
Just an air pistol. Judge recently sentenced him to 6 years in prison. Batten reportedly claimed that he robbed the restaurant in order to get money back to pay a debt. His lawyer said that he was ashamed and embarrassed by his actions.
Which one? The one where he thought he could get chicken McNuggets before 10:30, or the fact that he robbed a McDonald's?
Do you ever just fantasize about robbing a bank?
Yeah, 100%.
Just once.
Yeah, no, don't go crazy.
I legitimately have like a reoccurring dream where I'm robbing a rural bank and I don't have a gun. I just have a note, and then I just drive out of there smooth, and then I never do it again.
One time I was working at a Coffee Bean off of like Ventura and Whitsett in Studio City. A lot of celebrities go there. No big deal. And it was Halloween, and there's like a little credit union, like a couple doors down, and they came in and they were like, hi, can I use your phone? I actually work at the bank a couple doors down, and we're getting robbed right now. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah. And I'm like 18. I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah. They propelled down through the ceiling, and they're robbing. I got out the front door, but I do need to call 911. And I was like, why are you so calm?
My jaw is on the floor.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. Apparently Halloween is a big bank robbing holiday, which makes sense because people wear masks. But like, hey, here's a hot tip. If you have a costume that has a mask, put it on when you get to the party. It's very scary to do it at any other time.
Yeah, for sure.
Very scary.
I worked at a convenience store in high school and a little bit of college, and I was always afraid, like closing up, that we were going to get robbed, because it's like that's when the money dump happens. And we would just store the money in the freezer because we couldn't take it to the bank overnight.
Well, and who's going to take it from there? It's too cold.
It's too cold.
You line your jacket with freezing cold dollar bills. You're going to get it. You're going to catch the flu.
Yeah. So we had to, we locked up and everything. But then when we counted the money, I was like, this would be the perfect time to rob a convenience store. But
so maybe that's what you need to fantasize about, not a bank.
Yeah. I wonder what gets you more prison time, a bank or a convenience store, or if they're just equal. Lawyers, write in and let us know at trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com.
We need to weigh our options here.
We've got a decision to make. You know who else had a decision to make?
Some guy named Creep.
Yep. According to our next story from the dailymail.co, Creep, 32, leaves notes in hundreds of letterboxes seeking a young woman to produce an heir because his girlfriend is 74 and says that he's already received 2 offers.
A 32-year-old Canberra man sent 200 flyers in a bid to find a potential surrogate. The man asked for only 5 days of parental custody over the Christmas break, and he sent the posters because his 74-year-old girlfriend cannot give him an heir. Residents across North Canberra have expressed their confusion over the letter. So this is fucking confusing because, I have questions. Well, okay, we'll get the nitty-gritty out. So he had a hard time on Tinder and Bumble, and then there's a co-parenting app called Just a Baby, which I did not know existed.
Me either, and it's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, you just took out so much. It's expensive to have a baby on your own, but if you're just okay, let me find someone who I can just milk for sperm, consensually, it's pretty brilliant.
Justawomb.com is their first website, and that didn't work out.
Didn't like that.
Let's rebrand. Let's rebrand, everybody.
What do we really want here? Well, we just want a baby. That's fucking it.
That's it.
Ronald, you did it again. He wants the woman carrying his child to be between the ages of 18 and 26 and her mother to be between the ages of 35 and 50. So like he's got like, rules on
Demands.
grandma too.
Yeah. Nothing is as effective as putting out a flyer, the anonymous man told News 7.
I mean, I guess. Okay, so my question is, like, I for some reason the flyer doesn't offend me. I mean, it does in the sense of like you're looking for something very, very, very specific, but that's not like unheard of to, look for a surrogate who has certain specifications. I do feel like it's weird that like you need the grandma to be a certain age also. What confuses me is A, why is a 32-year-old dating a 74-year-old? But also like no judgment on love. Just curious, And B, what is this only 5 days of parental custody? Like you just want a kid at Christmas?
I mean, kids are magic at Christmas. Like that is the time that they're at their best.
But if you can rent a goat for a comedy show, you can't rent a kid for Christmas?
That's fair. Justakid.com. That's our new website where you can
like have you met like the parents of some child actors? Like I'm pretty sure you can just get one.
Yeah, for sure.
Did
I ever tell you the story about the time I was a stage mom for my little cousin?
You have not.
So my little cousin was an actress and she was doing background work on the show Big Love.
Oh, nice.
And her parents couldn't take her, so I went as her under 8 or over 18 guardian that day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to sign her paperwork. And she was like very self-sufficient. She's a very mature young lady and was just like, you can do whatever with the stage moms. I'll be over here with the kids. Like, you don't have to babysit me, basically. And so I was walking around and is it Bill Paxton?
Yeah.
That was the lead on that show. So I was walking around where I shouldn't be walking around.
Oh.
And I was at Crafty and I saw a stage mother approach Bill Paxton. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, no, no. And she just starts talking his ear off.
Oh my God.
About how her daughter's an actress and she was doing background work as well, which is a noble profession. But so she's talking off this guy's ear. And I'm just watching. Like I stop approaching the food and I'm just like, I'm about to watch a woman get kicked off set and this is going to be enjoyable because I'm trash. And then she finally goes to him and says, now, are you cast or crew?
Oh no, she didn't know who Bill Paxton was.
She didn't know who Bill Paxton was. And he, with like all the class in the world, just said, cast, ma'am. And she's like, oh, that's great because, my daughter's an actress and she could learn something from you. It was the classiest thing I've ever seen.
That almost like, I kind of like that that ending in a way because it's like if she knew he was Bill Paxton, she just said all these things to Bill Paxton. It's kind of like, why are you doing this? But if she's just saying these things to whomever, it somehow makes more sense and feels better to me.
Mm-hmm. It was just a class act.
I went straight to producers for Big Love when I was a child actor. Just like no big deal. But
no big deal.
My mom was a very good stage mom.
Good. Let's get into our next story from odt.co/New Zealand.
A winning greyhound tested positive for meth. What?
Oh, a greyhound trainer has been disqualified for 4 months and fined $3,500 after methamphetamine was found in one of her dogs.
Hey, why are you just getting disqualified for 4 months from dog racing if you're giving your dogs meth? Like, shouldn't you be disqualified for like
life
ever and also from like a lot of things? Like, don't you get arrested for having meth?
I guess things are a little different in New Zealand, but I mean, they've got coronavirus under control, but they can't control the meth in their animal racing.
So the Minister for Racing, Grant Robertson, and the Minister responsible for animal welfare, Meka Wairiti, announced a government review of the greyhound racing industry because Robertson was concerned about track safety and cited far too many incidents recently where dogs have died or been injured. but he couldn't rule out shutting down the industry altogether. I'm so confused. Like, dog racing, like, everyone, like, that is cruel, right?
It's absolutely cruel.
Like, so what are you gonna do?
Especially if they're testing, if the trainers are giving them meth, like, and other additives. Like, I say shut it down altogether.
So the dog that won, whose name was Zipping Sarah, which is damn it, that's a good name for a dog, Zipping Sarah. But the owner won $4,000, so she was fined $3,500, but she won $4,000. So she still got to keep $500 and only has to take 4 months off. You gave your dog meth.
Yeah, this is outrageous. She was disqualified for 4 months to take effective April 30th. So by the time you're listening to this, Trashy, she will be
finally disqualified.
Finally disqualified. The case has prompted animal rights group SAFE to call on the governments to halt all greyhound racing until it is announced a review of the industry is complete. This is the third doping case in greyhound racing industry in the last 6 months. That's too many.
Whoa. What are you guys doing?
I don't care for this.
Is horse racing cruel also?
I don't like many animals with jobs. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of a bummer. Like, let them be companions or let them be completely wild.
So you don't like goat yoga?
Ah, damn it. You got me. Because I love goat yoga.
It's, like, what are we to do? But the thing with goat yoga is, and I don't know this for a fact, but they seem like they're having fun.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if, like, greyhounds, certainly not ones that are on meth, I don't think they're having fun. I think they're scared.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't know. This is fucked up. Boo.
Boo. Boo. Good for SAFE for calling them out.
Yeah, we need a happier story. Like maybe something about a big fight.
Ooh, I've got a story from the apnews.com.
Okay.
Hundreds show up in Nebraska for a fight over the name Josh.
Lincoln, Nebraska. A fight over the name Josh drew a crowd from around the country to a Nebraska park Saturday for a heated pool noodle brawl.
It started a year ago when the pandemic boredom set in and Josh Swain, a 22-year-old college student from Tucson, Arizona, messaged others who share his name on social media and challenged them to a duel.
So he's from Tucson, but I hope that he's like based in Nebraska now and he didn't just choose Nebraska for his weird Josh fight.
Hundreds showed up to Air Park in Lincoln, Nebraska, a location chosen at random to participate in the silliness.
So the festivities started with a grueling and righteous battle of rock, paper, scissors between Josh Swain from Arizona and another Josh Swain from Omaha. Apparently the student won that competition, allowing him to claim the title of the true Josh Swain.
The pool noodle competition was open to anyone with the first name of Josh. The victor of the competition was a 4-year-old boy who was coronated with a Burger King crown.
He is the ultimate Josh. That's nice. I'm glad that they gave it to a kid. Because imagine if they didn't, and then like that kid is kind of like, oh, shit.
Well, shit. I showed up. I got hit with a pool noodle.
And I'm not even supposed to be called a Josh anymore?
My name has to be Sarah now. I don't know.
Zipping Sarah?
Zipping Sarah.
Damn it, that's a good name for a kid, too.
That's a good name for a kid.
Ugh, stupid meth dog trainer.
I did not expect to be people as adamant about the thing as they are right now. He was a little surprised how the whole thing blew up, said the organizer, Josh Swain. That's so cute.
That is cute. That's nice,
I have to be on Instagram iconic Erica Curry because Erica Curry is sat on and the account never makes post and she never posts stories. And I've asked to buy the name and she's like $3,500. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Whatever. Iconic Erica Curry's a sick name.
Thank you.
Because you are iconic.
I'm aspiring icon.
I mean, a shining star to me.
Well, let's get into our next story that deals with school-age children.
Okay. According to Jezebel.com, Florida private school bans vaccinated teachers from interacting with students. God damn it, Florida.
vaccine shedding is not a real thing.
What is that? What is vaccine shedding?
That
Besides not
is
a real
the
thing.
belief, I'm putting that in quotations, that when you are vaccinated, that side effects can happen to other people around you because you're shedding out cells and sweat, and it's bullshit. And this is what is prompting this. So,
OMG.
yeah. A Miami, Florida school that I'm assuming is not focused on comprehensive and accurate STEM education has prohibited vaccinated employees from interacting with students, possibly because some of the bullshit one of the founders saw on Facebook.
Spicy writing. Layla Center, co-founder of the Center Academy, part of a multi-million-dollar network of private schools owned by the family where tuition can cost as much as $25,000 a year, circulated a letter last week informing employees that they would need to step away from their roles should they decide to become inoculated against the deadly and highly transmittable COVID-19 virus.
According to the New York Times, which Cassandra pays for, Center has reportedly shared anti-vaccine posts on Facebook and in the letter wrote, reports have surfaced recently of non-vaccinated people being negatively impacted by interacting with people who have been vaccinated. It's possible that she is referring to inaccurate information focused on vaccinated individuals affecting the menstruation cycle of unvaccinated individuals.
Even among our own population, we have at least 3 women with menstrual cycles impacted after having spent time with a vaccinated person. This is so stupid.
The Academy's website says the school values individuality and honors the freedom of choice. We are proud that our happiness school does not mandate vaccines of any kind, and we accept religious exemptions.
What's a happiness school?
I don't fucking know. Some bullshit. Some frou-frou education plan. I'm coming for you. Center schools. Like,
yeah. You tell them.
I'm coming for you.
I mean, what if like these kids' parents get vaccinated?
Exactly. It just makes no sense to me.
I'm getting like annoyed at the idea of like people just kind of like who don't want to get the vaccine for one reason or another, banking on the idea that herd immunity will happen. It's like, yeah, dipshit, but not without you. Like, I wish that no one would have ever even brought up the idea of herd immunity, because like there's just too many people who are like, I would get the vaccine if I have to, or like who like are afraid because the second shot is like fucking gnarly, like, and so they're just kind of like waiting for everyone else to get it, you know? Like, get the fucking shot. And also, what motivates people to lie about this?
It's rooted in fear.
But someone has to write the first article. Someone has to tell the initial lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand how they get spread.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, who is the person? I mean, I guess you're just like a troll, or like you start with your own personal vendetta, or like perhaps a bigger vendetta because you're spreading lies from another country. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It just like, this fucking sucks. Like, I just wish that COVID wasn't, and the vaccines just weren't a political thing. It'd be like super nice.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I completely agree. You know what is kind of nice though?
Getting gifts.
I love getting gifts, and I'm terrible about giving them. It's not part of my love language, but I am great at receiving them.
You give gifts?
I've gotten better in the recent years, but like gifts just weren't a part of my culture growing up.
I understand. Well, according to sports.yahoo.com, we got a story sent in by Victoria Jacobson.
The Victoria Jacobson.
And it's a good one. A Japanese man is arrested for simultaneously dating 35 women to get birthday gifts.
A Japanese man took dating to the next level after reportedly simultaneously becoming involved with at least 35 women in order to receive a steady influx of birthday gifts.
Why is that illegal?
They got him on fraud because he was telling them they had different birthdays.
That he had different birthdays?
Yeah, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm dating 35 women for my January 17th birthday. It
Uh-huh.
was like, oh, my birthday's next week. Oh, my birthday's this week,
But like, still, so like, why is that illegal?
Let's see. It seems the women found out about his dubious behavior. They unified, formed a victims association, and spoke to the authorities last February.
That's how you get them. If you have enough people mad at you.
You got to unionize.
Hello. There's a movie about this, not specifically about this, because like this guy, is dating a lot of people, but there's a movie that exists where like three women are all dating the same man, or like one of them's married to the man, and then the other one is like his girlfriend, and then the other one is like his like sex person.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's called The Other Man or The Other Woman.
The other woman, with the guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, is he in it? I was just like, because it's Cameron Diaz, that like model that everyone was obsessed with for a second,
Mm-hmm.
and Leslie Mann with Nicki Minaj. And
of course.
I feel like this is not the first time that I've brought this movie up on this podcast.
Yep, Kate Upton and then Nicole Coster-Waldau. Yep.
That's the guy from Game of Thrones.
Uh-huh.
Jamie
Lannister.
Jamie Lannister. But that's a trashy movie, so of course it's come up multiple times. You know what wouldn't be fun? Oh, fuck, that transition's going to suck. The next story has to do with TV, and I'm talking about movies. I really tried to make that landing, and I just right in the ocean. Like,
Just
I'm crashing this plane in the ocean. I'm looking at a picture of my gal I got at home. My compass is broken, and I am crashing in the ocean right now.
According to TheGuardian.com, Russian man trapped on Chinese reality TV show finally voted out after 3 months.
Okay, like this is probably fucked up, but this is fucking hilarious to me that you're trapped in a reality show.
Well, he would have to pay a heavy fine if he left.
So Vladislav Ivanov says that he regretted his decision to join Produce Camp 2021, but fans refused to vote him out because the internet's a cruel place, baby.
A Russian man who joined a boy band competition show on Chinese TV on a whim says he regretted his decision, has finally been released from his ordeal after making it all the way to the finale.
Is a 27-year-old part-time model. He was working on the show as a translator when producers reportedly noticed his good looks and asked him if he would sign up as a contestant. So he told the program he had been asked if he would like to try a new life, and he agreed, but then quickly came to regret the decision.
The program, which the concept originated in Korea, pits young performers against each other to train to eventually form an 11-member international boy band chosen by the voting public.
I mean, like, again, like this is like maybe just dark, but it's so funny to me that like you're on a reality show where you have to be in a boy band, and then you're like, I don't want to do this, and fans are like, too bad you're in the boy band.
He told the viewers, "Don't love me, you'll get no results. I hope the judges won't support me. While the others want to get an A, I want to get an F because F stands for freedom," he told the South China Morning Post.
He pleaded with people not to vote for him, and his first song was a half-hearted Russian rap in stark contrast to the high pop of his competitors. Please don't make me go to the finals. I'm tired.
Fans said they wanted him to 996, which is in reference to China's digital industry culture of chronic overwork from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week.
Oh, yikes. That's getting dark. Others called him the most miserable wage slave and celebrated him as an icon of Sang culture, a Chinese millennial concept of having a defeatist attitude toward life.
At one point, he ate a lemon on stage and asked people not to vote for him.
I'm not kidding, he said deadpan. Holy shit. This is crazy, but also like, this sounds like some fucked up stuff that Netflix would do.
Mm-hmm. There were hashtags on the Chinese social media Weibo that were hashtag free Li Lush or hashtag something in Russian.
Mm-hmm. Then there was State media began to reporting on Ivanov's predicament about a week after the popular Russian bloggers posted about the interpreter's unlikely run. It's not funny anymore. Let Vlad go home. I'm very sad and disturbed. It might have been amusing for some time, but the situation is becoming absurd.
You know what else sings like a canary?
What?
Our next story.
Canaries? Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
According to CNN.com, a story sent in by Adam Cantley.
Oh, thanks.
Man arrested at airport after 35 birds intended for singing contest found in his clothing, officials say.
What is up with these stories that we have to do? I mean, I'm happy to do this, but like, it's more like, why are there so many stories existing where people are trying to sneak shit in their clothes like fucking cartoons?
Yeah. A man was arrested and charged with allegedly smuggling 35 live finches and hair curlers from Guyana for singing contest in New York City, according to a complaint filed from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York.
Kevin Andre McKenzie, a 36-year-old Guyanese resident, flew to JFK on Monday, and Customs and Border Protection officers pulled him aside for an examination and found the birds.
He was charged with unlawfully importing the finches. Is it that much money to report or to declare birds?
But I think like when you get them from different countries, then they're like, oh, those birds are going to contaminate our birds, like with their bird diseases.
Yeah, that's fair.
But also, then why are we having bird singing contests from people from around the world?
Let birds free.
You said it yourself. You don't like an animal with a job.
Except for seeing eye dogs. I do feel as if they enjoy the job. And
sure,
I do feel like they enjoy the job.
Yeah, it's nice. Dogs are pretty great. McKenzie told officers that he had been offered $3,000 to smuggle the birds. He allegedly was paid $500 before his flight and was to receive the remaining $2,500 after he got through customs. It's not immediately clear whether anyone else has been arrested.
Besides a valid import permit, birds required to quarantine for 30 days to prevent the spread of contagious diseases, according to the government regulations listed in the complaint.
You can't just take birds everywhere, You can't just, take birds from one coordinate and put them on another coordinate,
Yeah, exactly. The lady in our next story had a trouble with coordinates, though. Should we get into it?
Yes, because I fucking love this story.
According to FoxLA.com, I was so close. Woman gets wrong coordinates for Sedona, Arizona tattooed on her body.
Oh God, this is just like tasty breakfast. This story. A St. Louis woman who was trying to get a spontaneous tattoo of a meaningful location and ended up getting the coordinates of a random location tattooed on her body because she didn't double check her conversions.
Instead of getting the coordinates for the downtown Sedona, Arizona, Bree Pritchett, 24, accidentally ended up getting coordinates of a random spot somewhere in the Pacific Ocean off of Chile, permanently tattooed on her shoulder.
Is it that fucking hard to get the coordinates to Sedona? Like literally, like how do you
Google them right now?
Coordinate. I have to wait. Oh fuck! I don't think I know how to spell coordinates without looking. Coordinates to Sedona. Jesus, it's early. Coordinates to okay, great. 34.8697 north, and then 111.7610 west. There it is, right there on the internet. Easy peasy. What conversions did she need to do?
Exactly. Pritchett went to school in Northern Arizona State University in Flagstaff and used to frequent the downtown Sedona area with her college friends.
Yeah, okay. You mean you drank a lot of wine in Sedona?
No joke, yeah. I have a clock in my house it's a celestial coordinates. Mm-hmm. And somebody got it for their husband's birthday, but the company sent the wrong date. So it's a round clock, and it has the planets, how they were aligned at the time of his birth.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucked it up, and they sent her a new one. So she gave the clock to us, and I'm like, it's a really cool looking clock. It doesn't matter to me that the date is wrong.
Well, I mean, it's not even a significant date to you. Like, it's just a cool looking clock. How did she know? How did she look and go, No, sorry. Jupiter was 2 clicks to the left.
The whole date was wrong.
Oh, word. Okay, so
Yeah.
she just got someone else's clock.
Yeah.
So I loved Sedona. Loved it. I went on hikes near there to have a little break. Sororities and fraternities hung out at the local creek. It was a meaningful place for me and got me through some tough times in college.
During the tail end of her trip, Pritchett decided she wanted to
Commemorate.
During the tail end of her trip, Pritchett decided she wanted to commemorate her love for the past college town and get coordinates of downtown Sedona tattooed on her left shoulder.
So you're on a trip to St. Louis.
No, she's from St. Louis now. She was on a trip for her birthday back to Sedona during COVID.
I see. So I was standing in Sedona looking around the downtown area and dropped a pin in Google Maps. My boyfriend and I had talked about it the whole trip and decided to just walked in. So she took it on like a look, you guys, if you come up with a good idea for a tattoo, like wonderful. But like take it from me, someone who has a complete sentence on her arm but no period. Like you need to like cross-reference things. And just because the pin on Google Maps says that these are the coordinates, do what I did and also just Google the coordinates.
So when I got my tattoo on my wrist after I was partying in Austin, Texas, I got the Leonard Cohen Hallelujah tattooed on my wrist. And when I woke up the next morning, I pulled a prank on the girls and I said, "Oh my God, it says Halloween." And they all like flipped out and like ran to me. And then I was like, "Just kidding. I'm so clever."
Now I kind of want to get a tattoo that says Halloween though.
I kind of want a Halloween tattoo myself now.
Didn't you get it in white ink or something like that?
It's like Indian skin was the name of the ink. It's like a brown ink.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that a good name? Yeah.
I'm just reporting the news. That's just the name of the ink.
That's so weird. Well, so anyway, she laughs about it now, which is nice. And she wanted to keep the mistake a secret, but then her younger sister saw the tattoo on Instagram and Googled the coordinates just to double check. And yeah, she said she knew before I did and she didn't even tell me.
She switched south and north.
Oh, Jesus.
That makes me so angry.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed. You know what else I'd be pissed about?
A poop wall?
Yep. According to MLive.com, a property dispute between neighbors in Southeast Michigan led to the construction of a 250-foot-long poop wall or a compost fence, according to Fox 2 Detroit reports.
The cow manure is normally spread out on a farmer's field next door, but Wayne Lambarth, who owns the adjacent property in Lodi Township, he just started piling it all up together as a smelly reminder of the property line dispute from last year.
The stench permeates Lambert's rental house near the property line, the report said. Complaints have been lodged against, but local officials say there's nothing they can do since the fence is on the farmer's property.
It's not a poop wall, the farmer told Fox 2. It's a compost fence. That's
good branding.
Honestly. But like, that's petty to do something to someone that also affects you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I can't have my property line right, we're both gonna go through this. In fact, the whole fucking town's gonna go through this.
Yeah. I wonder what the dispute was that happened previously, because this feels like something huge or absolutely tiny.
It feels, 250-foot poop wall. I'm saying that it was something tiny.
Yeah.
It is just way too petty.
That kind of stuff like builds in you.
Because it's kind of like maybe it started big and they were able to come to an agreement on everything but one last thing. And like they're so stuck on that one thing that it's like, well, fuck you, I'm going to build a poop wall. Mm-hmm. Or a compost fence.
A compost fence. Again, good branding.
100%. Hey, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Good, because it's time for the dumpster fire of the week. It's everyone's favorite overlord. We got a story about Disney.
According to the dailyDot.com, a man's op-ed about Disney World becoming too woke is getting eviscerated online.
The author complains how recent changes at the theme park are ruining his experience.
Like many of the world's theme parks, Disney World does not look like it did when it first launched. It's been renovated and brought into new elements to older rides, such as the addition to Frozen to Epcot's World Showcase, but some of the more recent additions and rule changes are at the center of a widely derided op-ed being ripped apart a new one online.
On Friday, the Orlando Sentinel published an op-ed titled, "I love Disney World, but wokeness is ruining the experience." It's by Jonathan Van Boskirk, a man from Las Vegas who describes himself as a Christian and conservative Republican. Yeah, I saw that coming. He's been a lifelong Disney fan, Disney adult, some would say, and he takes his family to the park every year, but now he's reconsidering making the pilgrimage because he feels like Disney's abandoning the immersive and magical experience that comes with a trip to Disney World.
Here's a short list of what Van Bursik has issues with regarding recent changes at Disney World.
He doesn't like that cast members have like more opportunities for self-expression, including displaying tattoos or wearing inclusive uniforms and having inclusive haircuts. What is an inclusive haircut?
I think maybe like a gender non-conforming haircut.
Like women are allowed to have short hair.
Uh-huh.
Or non-binary people are allowed to have short, long, whatever hair.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Okay. And also like the tattoos, like he's like, I go to Disney World to escape. I can't even go into a Starbucks without seeing tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Take me to a happy place where everyone has respect.
He lost interest in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride after Disney renovated in the last year. They took out like the slave auction. Like they took off the auctioning of women. And he's upset about that.
Oh, I want to go back to the way it was when I could just watch a good slave auction. I can't even go to Starbucks anymore.
He took issues with Disney revamping the Jungle Cruise and Splash Mountain rides to remove racist elements.
I just want to go to Disneyland and see the racist stuff. I can't even go to Starbucks.
He notes that the Jungle Cruise's Trader Sam is not a representation of reality and is meant to be a funny and silly caricature.
To you?
It's fucking offensive.
Like, holy shit.
He doesn't like Disney making these changes and will have him thinking about politics, such as Splash Mountain, a ride associated with Song of the South, a movie racist enough that Disney stopped releasing it even without content warnings because it's a, quote, mood killer.
I mean, what did they do to Splash Mountain?
I believe
to make
it's going to be it's going to be the Country Bears now, not Song of the South. Fucking the Country Bears. I don't know. I've been to Disney.
Okay.
It didn't take me out of the element. Like,
I didn't even know that Splash Mountain was associated with Song of the South. I just was kind of like, it was just one of those things. I was like, oh, it's a fun ride, and so they probably just wanted to have a fun one in here, and they for some reason don't have a movie that goes along with this. Citing Walt Disney's pro-U.S. propaganda efforts during World War II, he believes that Disney should return to the values and vision of Walt, and that it shouldn't be listening to the Twitter mob to make decisions about its park. Hey, guy, the vision of Walt? Walt was like a Nazi, right? He hated Jewish people.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, literally, fuck you, you know?
And his argument is flawed and includes racist language while arguing that a racist depiction of a ride is not in fact racist, which just completely ignores the fact that it, like, using racist language to describe something doesn't make you less racist, you asshole.
I honestly feel like, because what Disneyland's supposed to be the happiest place on earth, it needs to be happy for everyone, not just like, you know, a good Christian and conservative Republican or like whomever. Like, it needs to be happy for everyone. And I think it's good that Disney has been making these changes and trying to have a park that doesn't have like glaring problems, you know, like they still make a lot of other mistakes, but like, you know, it's nice that like, it just shut up, guy.
Yeah. Some people questioned if it were satire because it's so absurd.
Yeah. I don't like this man. He is a dumpster fire.
He's a complete dumpster fire. Like, Disney's making changes to, like you said, make the park happy for everyone and removing outdated references. And he's got a problem with it. Like, go fuck yourself.
It's so weird. It's such a weird stance to take.
Yeah.
You know? Are you hoarding anything?
Oh, I am hoarding the drink of the summer.
Oh, what is it?
It's called ranch water. And it's not
Okay.
ranch dressing, baby.
That's too bad.
It is Texas ranch water. And it is, I had it while I was in Oklahoma, and I had about 6, maybe
Mhm.
10.
Mhm.
It is tequila,
Mhm.
Topo Chico,
Nice.
and lime.
Wow.
So it's like a really, really mild margarita, and it is so damn refreshing. It comes in a can. They have lime and grapefruit ones in a can that you can purchase at Target, which I had to go to 2 Targets to find it.
Okay.
Or you can make it yourself, which I bought the elements to make it because it is, I'm telling you, the drink of the summer. Ranch water.
I saw it on your Instagram, and like my first thought was like a Cool Ranch Dorito drink, and I was like, "There's no way that that's what it is." But like, would I enjoy a Cool Ranch Dorito drink? And then I was like, "No, of course not. I think I'm just craving Cool Ranch Doritos right now."
Mm-hmm. It's
Topo Chico
great.
has their own seltzer now.
They do, but ranch water's where it's at. I haven't tried the Topo Chico seltzers. I will try them to be
They're
a
good.
scientific researcher.
Yeah,
But
I had one last night. They're real good.
what are you hoarding?
So I'm hoarding. This is a hot tip. You know, behind the curtain, we had technical difficulties, you know, and that we had to take like 5 minutes real quick. And in that 5 minutes, I was like, man, I could really use breakfast. So I'm hoarding the concept of offering someone in your life an exorbitant amount of money to do something for you. I texted my partner and I said, I will give you $2,000 if you go get me a bagel sandwich, a veggie bagel sandwich from Hank's. I'm not going to give him that money. He knows it. I know it. But by saying $2,000, I'm showing just how much I want that sandwich. And I recommend you all do this to your friends and family and partners because it will get annoying for them, but it's funny at first, you know? And, you know, I've offered $800 for breakfast burritos before, and I always get it. I always get it. Like, and I could just ask, but I feel like when you just ask, you might not get it.
Right.
So that's I'm hoarding a manipulation technique this week.
Yep. Pretty trashy.
Yup. What are you throwing out?
I'm throwing out the fact that grown adults can't stand in a line or a queue, and it is driving me crazy. So I was at the airport and I was standing in line at my terminal. They had a TGI Fridays.
Sure.
And so there's a lady standing in front of me, then me. And somebody walks up and basically makes a new line and stands like behind the lady, but in the opposite direction. And then scoffed at me when I got served next. Because she thought she made the line.
What a dummy.
And I'm like, it's a queue. Like, it's pretty easy. It's a linear thing. It's pretty easy to handle for adults.
You know, I think that some people like will see a line and go, right, but I'm pretty sure that, like, I don't know if that's my line, so I'm just going to gather up front.
Mm-hmm. That's not for me.
No. Which is like, yes, it is. You know how you figure that out? Ask someone in line what they're waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Or
exactly.
then, what is this line for the TGI Fridays? Yes. Did you have to check in? Nope, just the line. All right. But instead, shove your way to the front and be like, help. Because you know what you did in that time where you were gathering and trying to get help? There was other people joining the fucking line.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're farther back.
What about you? What are you throwing away?
I'm going to get some heat for this.
Oof.
Possibly from you and many others. I'm throwing out hot chicken.
Ooh, what?
I just I don't think it's that good.
Okay.
Like,
Wow.
like I love fried chicken, of course, but the whole raving trend of hot chicken, I've had it a couple times and I had it this is maybe also why I was sick from the oysters is because I had hot chicken that night, now that I think about it. But I don't know, I had Dave's hot chicken and I was kind of okay, this just kind of sucks. Why is everyone so crazy about this? It's not that great.
Have you had Howling Rays?
No, but why would I? I already get it. The line at
No,
Dave's.
it's different.
No, but I bet it's not because the line at Dave's is always busy and the line at Helen Ray's is always busy. And it's probably for the same shit of just spicy seasoned fried chicken. And I'm just okay, cool. Everyone else, go ahead and enjoy it. But this is a hot trend. And I just I think it kind of fucking sucks. So I'm throwing it out. I'm sorry.
That's fair. I mean, I
I'm
disagree.
sorry.
I completely disagree, but to each their own.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you guys continue to love hot chicken, but I'm good. I'm waiting for the Raising Cane's in Burbank to get built because they don't add crazy stuff to their chicken. It's just chicken, just fried
Raising
chicken.
Cane slaps.
Oh, I'm so excited. I literally when someone, it felt like Christmas morning when someone was they're building one in Burbank, I was huh, what?
Yeah.
What? My Burbank? Mine? Oh my
Mine?
God. I have to drive all the way to Downey for Cane's.
Well, where can the people find you so that they can write to you about hot chicken?
Yeah, if you want to send me complaints about hot chicken, I'm at Cass Cardenas on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me every Tuesday night on the Neuter Podcast on the Smodcast Network. Where can they find you?
At Iconic Erica Curry and at Gilly Gal on Twitter. And you can find this podcast at Trashy Trashy Pod on Instagram and Twitter, or at our website, www.trashytrashypodcast.com. Write in, let us know why you're trash.
We appreciate when you guys send us stories. And also, we are looking for Vegas stories. Tell us your Vegas stories. It doesn't have to be an epic night in Vegas. It could also be a really shitty night in Vegas, whatever means trash to you. Have you had a salmon? Did you order salmon from a Denny's in Vegas? We want to know about that.
We want to know about that.
I know someone who's done that. And it's one of the, I'm what? She's it was good.
Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage.
Oh, I will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.